I don't know if my colleagues will support me. I think there are lessons that can be learned from what went wrong after the Orange Revolution. And from my own research, there was a division among activist networks. And very quickly, activist networks and civil society organizations were divided and entered into a variety of conflicts. And we know that, I mean, the ICNC, with the abundance of research, that violence is in fact, as a repertoire of protest, counterproductive. It does not engage the wider population of citizens, right? So we do know that. And I think probably the key thing that we've learned from the Orange Revolution is that civil society actors are good at being watchdogs. They're good at being arbiters. They're good at being interlocutors between maybe the broader society and politicians. But they don't survive very well once they enter into the messiness of formal politics. Some do, and we have several cases of that. But this continuation of the mobilization, as Elena said, is absolutely critical. And this final thing that we seem to have not really concentrated on in our discussion today is that the Euromaidan and then everything that happened in pockets of cities all over Ukraine was about self-organization, and it was about the babushka coordinating. And you know, the babushka that went in and was storming in an oblast administration building with her kulok, her plastic bag in hand. This self-organization of citizens is something that is incredibly interesting that happened in Ukraine. And if maybe civil society actors that are better organized, that have training, that have knowledge, can help stimulate that and support that in the East and in the South, that would be great, I think.
So maybe the last word, Dimitro, would you like to add anything in terms of strategies for civil society in the coming days, weeks, and months?
Oh, very briefly. Actually, I think that what started as Euromaidan and then turned just in Maidan now can be turned back to Euromaidan, because for these people in the Crimea and Eastern Ukraine, I guess that there must be a choice not just between Russia and Ukraine, but Russia and Europe. And the most realistic way to give that choice to these people and the rest of Ukrainians, of course, is to provide visa-free travel to Europe and to reform the country to make it a place worth staying in. And in this regard, I would like to share very briefly my experience after the end of the protest. Like, I had a chance to be present one of the first meetings of the new cabinet of ministers, and I asked for a chance to talk briefly to the Prime Minister, and the answer from the head of the information department of the cabinet of ministers was like, you know, you have to respect the Prime Minister of Ukraine. And that was a complete surprise, because, you know, I did not think about these things in terms of having respect towards the Prime Minister, you know. I felt like, you know, my request was an attempt to bring him down somehow. So what I want to say that I'm not sure that when we talk about this Russian and kind of neo-Soviet aggression against Ukraine, that it's just about Crimea and Eastern Ukraine. I afraid that the neo-Soviet troops, or still old Soviet troops, they are still there in the governmental cabinets, and even though these people are not in the top positions but in the middle level positions, but these are the people and structures and practices that are defining Ukraine's ability to reform itself, or rather inability to reform itself.
Right.
And to make sure that that choice is open for Ukrainians.
So it's not only the concrete reforms that the civil society needs to press for, but it's essentially the whole reformation of the mindset and changing the mindset of the opposition leaders, political opposition leaders as well.